Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Rowe looking at problem stat part A. This is lesson 5. We're going to look at an example like numbers 1 through 6. This is where you have to take the two-way table and then answer some questions about the two-way table. So here's our two-way table, or here's the information for our two-way table. Because we have 50 children, were asked if they wanted to go to bowling or if they wanted to go to the cinema. So 50 children, so we know that our total here, as we fill in the table, is 50. And then we're told that 17 girls and 11 boys wanted to go bowling. So we find the bowling column and we fill that in 17 girls, 11 boys. And then we're told that 12 boys want to go to the cinema. So from here, we just got to fill in the rest of the information using the fact that we have 50 total. And so we can add the boys column right here. 11 plus 12 is 23. And then we can add the bowling column. We know that that's 28. Now we can use that to just fill in the rest. If we look right here, if there's 28 that want to go bowling and there's 50 total students, then that means that there's 22 that want to go just to the cinema. And so we can figure out how many girls want to go to the cinema by a little subtraction here. We can work in this column. 12 plus what is 22? Well, that's 10. And so then that means that we have 27 girls in the survey. So that's our two-way table. So now we're going to use that two-way table to kind of answer some questions. But now how do we answer the questions? Let's zoom out just a little bit so I can see the question and the table. So question 1 here, what percent of children? So that means what percent of the totals? We're looking at the total want to go bowling. So the percent of the total that want to go bowling. So we look at bowling. There's 28 that want to go bowling out of 50. So what is our ratio here? Our marginal rate, that's 28 out of 50, which is 0.56 or 56%. So now we'll do that for the rest. Second one says what percent of girls? So we're focusing on the girl column or the girl row right here. And we want to know how many of them want to go to the cinema. So it's 10 out of a total of 27. So 10 out of 27. Now I can't do that one in my head. So I'm going to pull out my calculator. And I'm going to do 10 divided by 27, which is approximately 0.37 or 37% of girls want to go to the cinema. Second one says what percent of the boys do not want to go bowling. So we're going to look at the boys row right here, total of 23. We want to look at how many do not want to go bowling. So we're going to ignore the bowling and look at the cinema. That means 12 out of 23 want to go to the cinema. Again, I'm going to pull out my calculator. And we're just going to do 12 divided by 23. That's 52.2% or 52.522 or 52.2%. And so now the next one says show the marginal distribution by gender. So what's the marginal distributions? So if I'm looking at gender, I've got 23 boys, 27 girls. So my marginal distribution would be for boys, it's going to be 23 out of 27. For girls, I'm just putting the fractions first. 27, not 20. Mr. Rowe, that's a 50 because it's the total. Out of 50, 23 out of 50, which is 0.46 or 46%. And then for the girls, we know we have 27 girls. So 27 out of 50, which is a 0.54 or 54%. percent. Now pay attention to what it's asking for. So if I'm asked for the marginal rate by where you want to go, I'm looking at bowling and cinema. If I'm asking for marginal rates by gender, I look at boys and girls. So make sure you understand what you're being asked to do because you may have to use these values instead of these values for those marginal rates. And the last one says, what are the two categorical variables in the problem? Well, that's gender, because we have boys and girls. So gender is one. And what's the other? Where you want to go. So I hope this helps you with numbers 1 through 6 in lesson 2 in Problem Stat Part A. If you still struggle with this as you're working, please let me know through teacher message or making an appointment for a help session.